Welcome back, everybody, to your three-man booth, NFL Week 16. I'm Dan Salem with Phil and Bud. We had another good week picking games. Phil went 2-0 again. Bud and I each got a win. We got pretty good records here, but we need some more victories, to really boost these numbers. I'm just going to dive right into it before we touch on the Jets and Giants who had interesting weeks. Phil, what do you got for Week 16?
I'm going to take the revenge game. I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills plus 2.5 against New England. There's no way what happened the first meeting is going to happen again. It was awful. Josh Allen couldn't throw the ball. I just think Buffalo has a little bounce back. The Patriots were
embarrassed.
Give me Buffalo for the bounce back game. Monday night, the Saints are just going to eat the Dolphins' lunch. I mean, they're only given 3. We saw what the Saints did to one of the most powerful offenses in the league. Granted, they lost a lot of their receivers in that game, but still, the Saints' defense is no joke.
We'll talk about it later, but Tua is just a mess also. I will lead off my picks with the Colts. They're getting 1.5 against Arizona, who managed to get destroyed by the hapless Detroit Lions. Something's wrong with that team. I'm not sure. They're not clicking, and the Colts are rolling. They just steamrolled the Patriots. And my other pick is for the LA Chargers. They are going to bounce back. They should have beat the Chiefs. They're giving up less than 10 points against Houston, who is not a good team. I mean, yes, sure, they beat the Jaguars, but that's nothing to brag home about. Chargers got to win to get in the playoffs, and they're going to destroy the Texans.
I am taking the 49ers over the Titans. Nothing really has impressed me with the Titans the past few weeks, and the 49ers are just rolling right now. Since George Kittle has come back, they are a completely different football team. Garoppolo looks great. Lay the points, and I'm going to take Jacksonville over the Jets.
Yep, you're getting 2.5.
Do you truly believe it? Do you truly believe it, or are you just going with your streak?
No, I think it. I really believe it. I mean, this is a nice segue. I mean, Dan and I spoke before you got on, Phil, and Dan seems to think that the Jets are up and coming, I guess, or they're not as bad as they look. I mean, the Jets had 34 total yards in the second half of a football game. And the only reason why they scored a touchdown in the second half was it was a pick 6. The offensive line is terrible. He can't read the blitzes. Their wide receivers are decimated with injuries. He can't get the ball out fast enough. Everybody's double teaming Crowder because the other guys they can't catch the football. Braxton Berrios is the only wide receiver who can catch the football right now.
Everything you just said is 100% correct. I still think that team is better than the Jaguars, but it doesn't mean they're going to win.
So do you think that the Jets defense, which has not been able to pressure the quarterback all year for the most part, is going to be able to put enough pressure on Trevor Lawrence that Trevor Lawrence doesn't look?
Yes. The offensive line is awful.
I do.
That Jacksonville offensive line is awful, god awful.
They did not get to Tua, but they got to the offense, and they were just disruptive in the passing game. The Jets have not played 2 good halves of football all season, which is bizarre, right? They had one really good half against Miami, more or less.
They were winning 17-10 at halftime, and at no point did I say to myself, all right, well, maybe we are going to get a win this week. I knew that they were not going to come out well.
No, and they should have been up more than that if they actually played like to their potential, like actually played good football. They should have been leading by more. And yeah, I watched most of the second half. I haven't watched the game in a couple months, and they look like a decent rebuilding young team, which is bad. Like they're a bad football team. I mean, they're so inconsistent, but they did make mistakes, a lot of mistakes. They didn't miss a lot of tackles, and they are playing really, really hard. That really stood out to me. I'm not sure if it's going to mean anything.
Well, there's only 3 weeks left of this misery, so.
But now you're at the point of the season where it doesn't benefit you to win at all.
No, because if the draft was tomorrow, we would have the number 4 draft pick,
and the number 6 and the number 7, 4 and 7. It would go Jaguars, Houston, Lions, Jets, Giants, Jets. That's how it would go.
If it was last year, I would agree with you, and I was saying it last year because they wanted to get as high a pick as possible to get the quarterback they wanted, right? Because there were 3 or 4, and you wanted to make sure you got your choice of the guys. I'm not sure I agree this year. This is a team with rookies across the coaching staff, across the team. If they get 2 more wins, 1 more win, it's going to make them feel so much better about themselves the second half of the season, which has been awful.
Well, you're right. But this year's going to be more of your skill position and lineman kind of draft. It's obviously not going to be a quarterback draft. I don't even think Jacksonville wants to win it, to be honest with you.
No. Well, I mean, the Jets are going to lose their last 2 against Buffalo and Tampa Bay. So this is the game they win if they win one.
No, if Bud would spend the $20 and go to the game and give us a live report.
It'd be good. Take some pictures.
Yeah, take some pictures.
Not interested.
I do think that this might be the only game where the stadium will not be full of Jaguars fans, because I don't think they exist anyway.
You know, that was one thing that I don't know if I mentioned to you guys a couple of weeks ago. You know, I watch all these Jets home games, and I watch all these other football teams. I feel like the Jets are the only team in the league that don't have fans. I mean, you go to Jacksonville, like literally, they're bad.
You know what's funny?
They're Jaguars fans. You go to the Lions. The Lions are awful. They've been awful for 10 years. You don't see other jerseys.
I have met a lot of Jets fans, having lived in LA and I travel. I've met a lot of Jets fans, but you're absolutely right. They don't fill the stadium.
They're all like your dad. He's like, I'm not going to the game.
No, my dad refuses to go to a game. He says he can just get aggravated for free at the couch.
So Daniel Jones is out with a neck injury for the rest of the season, right? I was talking with my brother about this because he's a Giants fan. Has he played his last game with the Giants?
There's two questions. There's two answers to that.
Okay.
I'm not going to draft anyone because there's no one to draft. If they trade for Russell Wilson, then obviously 100%.
But do you think they keep him on the roster? I think he's got one more year left on his rookie deal at least.
Oh yeah, if they trade for Russell Wilson, then he's a cost nothing backup.
No, that's true. I mean, so they could keep a cost nothing backup, or they could trade him because he's in the Sam Darnold position.
Well, he might be in the package for Russell Wilson if that happens.
Obviously, the Darnold trade didn't work out for the Panthers.
Well, they'd be more interested in the 2 first-round top 5 picks that are coming.
So is Daniel Jones a better trade target than Sam Darnold was this time last year? It might be a wash.
They're probably on.
I think it's a wash.
Yeah, I think it's a wash too.
Jones has missed a lot of time this year, unfortunately.
Yeah,
so did Darnold.
Like I said before, I'm at the point where it does us no good to win any games. I don't want to see him beat Philly or Dallas or they don't play Dallas again, but Washington or I forget. I think it's Chicago.
Do you think that the Giants' offense is actually worse now than when they had Jason Garrett? Now, take away the quarterback issue. Obviously, the quarterback issue is what it is. But even the 2 games that Daniel Jones played after Jason Garrett was fired, I mean, this offense looks, putrid.
Yeah, the offensive line sucks. The offensive line is awful. That was supposed to be fixed 3 years ago. Never happened.
And they haven't been healthy in the wide receivers either. So
right, Sterling Shepard just tore his Achilles on Sunday, so he's done for a while.
It's a good thing they signed Galladay to all that money. I mean, he's played, 15 snaps this year?
They didn't address tight end either. They kept trying out Evan Ingram, who's okay.
It's another throwaway season.
I wish I could ask you which GM targets you want them to look at, but I don't know GMs to target.
Yeah, I don't know GMs either. So here's a good question. Where does Urban Meyer coach next year?
Which team's going to give him a job? Is Florida going to give him a job back?
It's going to be college, but he's not. I mean, the NFL career's done.
Well, they're not even paying him his salary.
I know.
They're refusing.
So he's going to have to find a job if he wants to make money.
He'll get a college one somewhere.
He's such a sleazy guy.
I know. It would look such bad hiring him by any college, except that he probably would help them win.
Is the Notre Dame job still available?
No.
Maybe he'll go coach at UConn.
Oh, Jesus.
Because they got a sad, sorry football program. He could turn
I'll tell you what. Let's just say that he took a UConn job and he turned that team around. I mean, then obviously that would be something, because UConn football is wow.